Coronavirus has fueled authoritarian trends around the world, warns Australia. The same Australia that raids the offices of journalists and news networks. That should say including Australia. To be fair, the world has been slowly moving more towards authoritarianism throughout the 2010s anyway. Australia had no room to be bitching at others about being authoritarian. Did they figure this out before or after the Australian government decided that they were the Facebook meme police? It's more the rise of 24/7 propaganda. You don't say. The ironic part is, most of the population of those countries cheered them on. Hell, many demanded it. Funny what happens when a large population becomes afraid of something they have a poor understanding of, isn't it? Well yeah, most the people I see are begging the government to force them to do things instead of cultivating the character of the population to be responsible and do it themselves. Of course authoritarian-minded individuals are going to take that as excuse to do exactly what they ask them to do. There's nothing like a good disaster to convince people to give up just a couple more freedoms. The amount of whataboutism in these comments is a problem. Australia has issues with authoritarianism, but making that the talking point detracts from the real issue. LMAO, rich coming from Australia. The illusion of freedom will continue as long as it's profitable to continue the illusion. At the point where the illusion becomes too expensive to maintain, they will just take down the scenery, they will pull back the curtains, they will move the tables and chairs out of the way, and you will see the brick wall at the back of the theater. Frank Zappa. She's absolutely correct. Kinda scary, isn't it, being arrested for organizing a protest and being fined $20,000. Everyone I know personally is living off credit or borderline broke. People were saying this from the beginning and they were mocked. No shit. It's crazy just how quickly everyone's starting begging the government to regulate every facet of life. I'm seriously terrified of the next global issue and the precedent we've set with this. https://en Wikipedia, org/wiki/the_shock_doctrine. Deleted. The irony, it's like assassinating a person and weeping in his/her funeral procession. True. But still not a reason not to socially distance and wear masks. FK politics, listen to scientists, protest the other things gofts are doing, the money trails, the law changes, etc. Pot, meat kettle. Those who ask for a temporary security in exchange for liberty deserve neither. This is coming from Australia, the country that banned the use of encryption. https://www. Technology Review. com/2018/12/10/13874/. This is how Australia's ban on encryption could endanger us all. LOL. Perfect example is LA, where you're told you might get your rights back. And where they feel they can cut your power and water off, which isn't ever okay. Reddit is all about excessive lockdowns, fining people for not wearing masks, banning firearms, censoring speech, blind faith in media, violence towards people with different political opinions, but then turns around talks about authoritarian practices increasing. LOL. Hey Reddit, look in the mirror. You're all willfully pushing your countries towards becoming radical authoritarian societies. Thank you Australia. Pretty fucking rich comin' from the Aussie government that actively facilitates a genocide in West Papua and exports fossil fuels directly going against Australian demand. That's rich coming from Australia. The most nanny state that has ever nannied. Says Australia, the country trending for arresting a pregnant woman in pajamas and fining her 20,000 wallabies for organizing a protest. Warns Australia. Get fucked, it's happening here too. Fuck the liberals. Isn't this the country that just sent armed men to invade a woman's home, fine her and her family $20,000, and confiscate all of their electronics because she made a post on social media? You mean like lockdowns and end of private enterprise? Population tracking? Mandatory vaccines? Protests outlawed? When people demand safety from their government, of course the government's going to oblige them and take over their lives. Follow the money. How? We asked in the 60s and 70s, were those dirt poor rebels getting all those weapons down in South America? Where was the money coming from to buy the weapons and ammo? They were careful, only hand weapons and a few mortars. The weapons were axed from a huge arms dealer. The news people pulled all investigative reporters and moved them to Vietnam War coverage, but the truth came out and the arms dealer walked away with diamonds, gold, copper, and silver, and till this day is still not known. You are ignorant if you do not believe this happens daily while under the cover of darkness. Follow the precious metals market. Titles like this create generalist ideas of countries, people, and opinions from certain groups or parties. It's frustrating to read these comments and try to defend what the intention was. Every crisis is exploited for the gain of authoritarians. LOL, they worship the authoritarianism over in Australia though. Check out my comment history for someone saying I should be jailed for saying that charging the chick with a crime for creating a Facebook event was an overstep and authoritarian because this meant I was an undesirable. Warns Australia? The country with a police state in full swing? Australia, the one with military on the roads. The one arresting pregnant women for a post on Facebook? Are you ducking kidding me? Thus the same Australia holding secret trials? Trials against lawyers? https://amp abc net o/article/123765546 Pot kettle black, warns Australia. The same country that arrested a woman for a Facebook post about a peaceful protest. Reddit, fuck the USA for not taking control of the situation. They should have had mandatory quarantines from day one, required masks, made strict punishments for breaking rules, etc. Also Reddit, authoritarian governments are so scary. Can you believe the overreach? Government should not have this much unchecked power. Wasn't Australia where that woman was arrested for a Facebook post about protesting lockdown? I think those plans were already in action well before coronavirus. Rich warning from Australia after they arrested a woman for posting about a protest she wanted to have. Imagine trying to have a BLM protest when you can get arrested just for planning a protest. My god, my gov is such a fucking big pile of hypocritical shit. I am just gonna leave this here. https://www. sbs.com. /news/bill that could see immigration detainees have their phones confiscated passes lower house. This link is a good summary response to it. https://parlinfo. f. gov. o/parlinfo/search/display/display. w3p. Query equals ID %3A%22 chamber %2 Hansard %2 Fa645 D93 B9C504 CEC B4 F41A182 DC9 B42 %2 F0239 22. The nation that yesterday arrested a pregnant mother. https://www. Newsweek. com/pregnant woman pajamas arrested Facebook Live allegedly inciting anti-lockdown protest 1529148, for inciting a coronavirus lockdown protest via Facebook is gonna lecture the world on authoritarianism. Humans, as a species, don't deal well with fear apparently. Americans suck at fear and dealing with affronts to their sense of entitlement. What is up with the anti-Australia brigade? Not that the concerns aren't valid, but the amount of comments that read almost exactly the same are bizarre. It's not the coronavirus. The cause for authoritarianism around the world is neoliberalism. Isn't Australia, in particular the state of Victoria, rather guilty themselves? There are actually a few studies that indicate that pathogen stress, in this case coronavirus, increases the rise of authoritarian governments. Here is one of them. https://journals plus org/plosone/article ID equals 10 1371/journal. Pone. I almost want to call false equivalence, because this has been happening well before COVID. It just so happens to be a great catalyst. The sad thing is, It isn't 100% top-down, it isn't just powerful people wanting more power, there are a lot of citizens who want some level of authoritarian rule. They want some governing body, large or small, to tell them what to do and to enforce that rule on, especially, their neighbors as well as themselves. It seems that most people have become afraid of freedom, because real actual freedom means freedom to fail as well as freedom to succeed. We rely too heavily on positions of authority. We have systematically put monolithic institutes in place to protect us from ourselves and others, to tell us what to consume, what not to consume, and when to consume it. There are at least 3+ generations of people who barely know how to cook, clean, and perform basic repairs on their own homes or cars, much less be expected to make critical decisions about their own health, safety, or livelihood. Yet anyone who dares question any of this is called boomer or typically worse. So, no fucking shit, there's authoritarian trends around the world, and TVAR us is just the thing needed to help usher us along down the cattle chute.